Hi guys, as usual before we begin, all the stuff links in the video description, all the necessary information that I could have added later after recording the video also in the video description, and you'll find there also my test system details and information about the vinyl records that I was using during my testing. So, what's this? This is SMSL PH-1 moving magnet phono stage, and as you may already know, or you may not know that, I've got two turntables now, and I wanted to check if external phono stage gives any noticeable improvements. I have an entry level but nice sounding Angel's Horn that I've been reviewing a couple of months ago, but I also have Audio-Technica AT-LPW50BK with AT-VM740 microline cartridge. Both of them have internal phono stages that can be disabled in order to use external phono stage. So this little guy is quite cheap, as the regular price is $69. And as I was checking this morning before recording the video, there is a sale on Aoshida. I think this is some kind of store-wide sale because everything has lower prices, but this guy on sale can be yours for $61. This little guy is quite cheap, and I was recently very surprised with quality of SMSL gear that I've tested, so I decided to get PH-1 and check what it brings to the table. When I was looking for other reviews on the internet, I was surprised to see that there's basically nothing about PH-1, and usually this would be a kind of warning light for me, but this time I realized that this was just recently released, so it's a brand new device, and that explains why there are no reviews. Also, shout out to Audio Science Review guys. Yes, I'm lurking over there too, and I've seen that some of you have seen my first look video when I was disassembling this little guy, and we'll be taking another look inside this time too. So let's talk about some specifications. Gain. The first thing, gain is set for 46 decibels. SMSL says that this is slightly higher than the regular gain for phono stages, that's in range up to 40 decibels, and that this additional 6 decibels are bringing additional dynamics to the table. We'll talk about that later when we'll get to the sound quality. THD plus noise are given as honestly astounding for such a small thing, 0.008 decibels. Sorry, not decibels but percent. Signal to noise ratio is given as 84 decibels, and channel separation is specified as -77 decibels. All of those numbers are pretty nice, especially for something so small, because they are basically quite good, especially compared to regular data that you can find on most turntables. This little guy sports headphone amplifier. We have a large 6.3mm jack here. We have volume control for the jack only, it doesn't work with RCA outputs. And the headphone amplifier data says that it's able to output 90 milliwatts per channel into 32 ohms. So let's talk about the build. In front of the device we have power on and off switch. We have status LED light, yes, blue is still fashionable color. We have 6.3mm large headphone jack, volume control for the jack, with no scales, just small and larger dot to indicate the way we are turning the volume up. Nothing on top, nothing interesting on sides, on bottom. On the back, let's unplug this device. In the back we have a set of inputs, set of outputs, and ground connector point. That's just for a bell wire or small spade. And we also have a 5 volts power connector that's using, and this may be important for some of you guys, the size of the barrel is standard 5.5/2.5 millimeters. I don't think it's given anything in the specification or in the manuals that can be found in this small box, so I'm giving it to you if you need to use external cable. The size is 5.5/2.5 millimeters. Now about the cable. We have one cable that comes with the device in the box. Interestingly, this is barrel connector to USB cable, because apparently everyone right now has phone chargers around the house. But this actually is a good thing. Why? Because with a regular barrel connector you are able to use linear power supplies, and if you do not have one of those, there is a chance that you have power bank in your house, so you can use battery to power this phono stage. And that's what I was doing during my listening tests in order to achieve the most clean and stable power input. So, in order to open the device, you need to remove the front knob. It just pulls off, but it's not so easy to take it off, as you can see, because it's very small. And then you have to undo small hex nut, that can be found over there. In the back you have to remove four, that's nasty one, four quite long Phillips screws, and you have to remove obviously this little guy. So let's remove the last screw. They are quite long, but the thread is short, so let's remove that one too. You have to remember to watch out for the washers here, not to lose any of them. And that's it. We can remove the front plate, quite thick and nice front plate, and we can remove the main board. And what can we see here? This is a very simple build. As you can see, it's basically relying on 3 ICs, and all 3 of them are sanded down. This little guy, this little guy, and this little guy. We also have some set of regular SMD components, for example here for the headphone amplifier. This sanded down guy is probably operational amplifier, and these guys are transistor pairs for the power output for the headphone out. And I have no idea what this one is, although probably it may also be some kind of operational amplifier, and this one is also a riddle. We have no idea. So the build is very simple. It's using some electrolytic capacitors, and it's using SMSL proprietary module here. Yeah. So that's it. I'll pause the video right now, so I will assemble it back again, and I'll be back with the sound qualities. Okay, so we're back. I've assembled the PH-1 again, and I will leave it powered on because I like this blue light. So let's talk about the sound quality, and maybe a few words about my testing procedure. As I've said, I have 2 phono stages, so basically in my sound quality description I'll be comparing the sound quality change coming from using PH-1 versus the sound quality that's delivered by the internal phono stages of Angel's Horn with 3600 ml, I think, cartridge, and Audio-Technica AT-LPW50BK with AT-VM740 microline cartridge. Yes, I love those names. I've decided to do my tests and my listening sessions with notes this way because it's very hard to assess phono stage without any kind of reference. and the idea is to learn what it actually does bring to the table. So is it worth it to buy one and disable the internal phono stage of your turntable? So let's start with the bass. Compared to both turntables, internal phono stages, bass gets more body. It also reaches lower, but with no mid-bass bleed. It's more powerful by being able to go lower than with both internal phono stages of both turntables. Moving on to mid-range. Compared to Audio-Technica, vocals get moved a little to the back, but they are a bit cleaner. There seems to be a little more air in the songs that I've tested this with, and that was basically a couple of my records, but the most used one was Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. So getting back to the sound quality. It's even easier to pick with entry-level Angel horn. The change in the mid-range is bigger with this entry-level turntable. But it also brings some nice quality changes to Audio-Technica, to my surprise. Now, moving on to treble. Compared to both Audio-Technica and Angel's horn, treble gets more clarity and extension. As it was with mid-range, the difference with Angel's horn is bigger, but that's something expected. I was quite surprised to hear that there is also a positive change when compared to the internal Audio-Technica phono stage. It's not very big, but it's there. If you'll hear the same song on repeat a couple of times, switching between internal phono stage and this little guy, yes, there is also difference in treble. Moving on to detail. Now this one is difficult. Compared to Audio-Technica LPW50 internal phono stage, we have less detail. Not much, but you can hear it with string instruments. These vibrating harmonic sounds of the string instruments, some of those harmonics with Audio-Technica, I mean compared to Audio-Technica, get a little lost. On the other hand, when compared to the internal phono stage of entry-level Angel's horn player, there is slightly more detail. So that's, let's say, I'm on the fence here. Moving on to imaging. Adding SMSL PH-1 adds depth and height to imaging in both cases when compared to both turntables' internal phono stages. The sound stage gets deeper, instrument positioning gets slightly better, like you would be making the instruments more solid. I mean, they do not switch the places, they do not move around the scene, but if I would say that at the start they were a little bit blurry on the edges, and they right now are getting more solid, more dense in the right positions. So that's also a positive change. Now, headphone amplifier. This guy has a headphone amplifier, so I've tested the quality of the headphone output. As for the usage scenario, it may be useful if you'd be willing to listen to your turntable, I don't know, sometime during the night without waking anyone in the house. But in my case, that's not a problem because I'm heartless bastard and I'm just waking up everyone. So, about the headphone amplifier. It's there, it works, it's not very powerful, but it was able to drive my dynamic Hi-Fi Man RE9 just fine. As the same goes for my EMS collection. But if you're serious about the headphones, you will surely get dedicated headphone amplifier. The volume control, as I've said in the beginning, controls only the headphone amplifier output, not the output RCAs. So, let's move to the summary. And let's take a closer look at the front of this device. So it's just $69. So as you can see, you can't really go wrong. getting one, especially for your entry-level turntable. The gain in the sound quality is noticeable and well worth this small investment. Interestingly, it was able to bring some sound quality improvements also to AT-LPW50BK, my Audio-Technica turntable, especially in treble and imaging, though dynamics was also slightly better. But it does lose some finer detail, though I have to admit that I know these Dire Straits songs very well, so I may be a little picky here. All in all, I like this little device for its sound quality and small size, though I really would like to know what these sand chips are. Again, links in the video description, my test system setup details in the video description. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, if you have noticed anything interesting about this little guy, or if you just have one and want to share your experiences, because I think this will be one of the first reviews for SMSL PH-1, and apparently nobody else looked inside of this device. So if you have anything to add, if you have any experiences to share, give me a shout, write them in the comments, and thanks for watching. I hope you'll have a wonderful day ahead of you. This is a very sunny Tuesday here, so I hope you'll be having a wonderful day. See you next time, guys. Bye.